The workplace sitcom has been a setting for many different work environments. You can find comedy in almost any location, after all. However, it's surprising there's only been one sitcom about the goings-on of an animation studio. With the creative personalities that often inhabit them, you'd think that would be the ideal place for a sitcom. That series was The Duck Factory. Never heard of it? Well, it does not surprise me, as it only ran for 13 episodes as a mid-season replacement in the spring of 1984. One of the few things people seem to remember about The Duck Factory is it was the first starring vehicle for a comedian who would not break out for another 10 years. Jim Carrey played Skip, an aspiring cartoonist who lands a job at an animation studio, but only when Buddy Winkler, the founder and head of the studio, dies. The whole concept of the series was merely showing the day-to-day activities of the employees at the studio as they worked on a Saturday morning cartoon called The Dippy Duck Show. To its credit, the series was not made by a bunch of outsiders. The Duck Factory was co-created by Herbert Klein, a longtime UPA veteran, and the animated segments and opening titles were produced by Playhouse Pictures, which was famous for its animated commercials. One of the principal actors is Don Messick, playing the in-house voice actor at the Duck Factory, and you certainly recognize his voice.
As I stand here on this very solemn occasion, I'll never forget the first time I met Buddy.
You're doing the duck.
Oops. Darn it. Excuse me.
That's right, the voice of Scooby-Doo, Boo-Boo Bear, Ranger Smith, and Hampton Pig, among other classic voices, effectively played himself on the series. Frank Welker even made a rare live-action appearance in one episode as a rival for Messick's character, Wally Wooster.
One of those terms would have to be, script approval.
One episode of The Duck Factory that sticks out is one entirely focused on the Annie Awards. In 1984, not many people outside of the animation industry had likely heard of the annual award ceremony for animators, so it's quite unique to see it represented on a primetime television series. Although at the time they only gave out Winsor McKay Awards, while the episode depicts the Annies as already having competitive categories. So a bit of creative license on the writer's parts, but it's the thought that counts. Those elements aside, how does the series itself stack up? Well, the scripts never seem to spark. Oh, there are occasional chuckles here and there, but it never rises above typical sitcom material. Those expecting to see Jim Carrey performing his usual brand of humor may be surprised and disappointed. Even Duck Factory co-creator Alan Burns admitted he did not take full advantage of Carrey's abilities as a physical comic and impressionist. Skip is pretty much the straight man, reacting to everyone else's antics, and Carrey is given only a few opportunities to show off his rubbery expressions. You do see glimpses of Stanley Ipkiss in Skip, though.
Oh, I thought it was very unique.
Yeah? Did you really hate anything?
Hate? No. There was one part that troubled me, just a trifle.
I know it can't be the scene with the monkey heads. That is solid. Is that romantic or what?
Oh, very. So what have other people said? Like your agent?
What do I care about the opinion of some blood-sucking parasite?
Who is he?
I don't have one.
I think maybe you should get one.
How does everyone else fare? Well, they are merely required to fit into specific boxes, and the series never gets to develop the characters beyond them, though maybe the writers would have done so had the series gone past 13 episodes. We get the dumb blonde widow of Buddy Winkler, the penny-pinching production manager, the veteran animator, the sad sack comedy writer, the generic good guy storyboard artist, the editor who pines for Skip, and the aforementioned voice actor. None of them get fleshed out in any meaningful way, which is a shame because you can tell the actors are giving the roles their role.
We haven't had the money to fix these things, and you just spent $300 on a hooker and nobody even had a good time! You're killing us, Tarkenton. This company is going into the toilet and your hand is on the flusher, if you get my drift!
I do.
It's also unusual that the Duck Factory has so few employees, as there's only one writer, one editor, one storyboard artist, and 2 animators on staff. Obviously the whole idea is this is supposed to be a low-rent animation studio, but even Filmation employed more people than this. However, I give the series a little leeway here, as they might not have had the budget to employ more actors and extras. It was a noble effort, but it's not hard to see why the Duck Factory did not take off. But sprucing up the scripts, giving the characters some extra dimension, and allowing Jim Carrey more of a chance to improvise might have helped the series find a bigger audience. NBC did not help matters, though. When they started airing The Duck Factory, it was as a mid-season replacement after Cheers, which was already in reruns at that point. Odd decision. They also aired the episodes out of order, with the second episode being aired last. That must have confused the viewers who were still watching at that point. In the end, The Duck Factory is an interesting curiosity if you want to see an animation studio used as a setting for a sitcom, and to see Jim Carrey in one of his early acting roles. Just don't expect a whole lot of alrighty then. See you next time.